My father always said timing was everything in business. The day my siblings forced me out of our family's software company, I smiled and walked away quietly. They thought I was weak. They were wrong. I was just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I'm Katherine Morgan, though everyone calls me Kate. Until 3 years ago, I was the head of client relations at Morgan Technologies, a company my father built from nothing into a $40 million enterprise. Today, I'm about to become their worst nightmare. Let me take you back to where it all began. Morgan Technologies was my father's legacy. He started coding in his garage, developed revolutionary inventory management software, and built an empire. He had 3 children, my older brother James, myself, and my younger sister Amanda. From the beginning, he made it clear the company would belong to all of us equally. Business is about more than just products, he'd tell us. It's about relationships. Never forget that. I took those words to heart. While James focused on product development and Amanda handled marketing, I built relationships with our clients. I knew their businesses, their challenges, their goals. More importantly, I knew how to keep them happy. When Dad passed away suddenly from a heart attack, he left the company split equally between us, 3% each. But he'd made one crucial mistake: he hadn't updated the company bylaws. They still stated that major decisions required only a simple majority. It took exactly 2 weeks for James and Amanda to show their true colors. Kate, James called me into the conference room one morning. We need to discuss the future of Morgan Technologies. Amanda sat beside him, both of them in expensive suits that screamed corporate success. I should have known something was wrong when I saw the lawyer sitting quietly in the corner. We've been reviewing the company's structure, James began, and we feel changes are needed. The client relations department is outdated. We're moving to an automated system. I stared at them. Automated? Our clients specifically choose us because of our personal approach. Times change. Amanda smirked. We need to evolve. Besides, your department is eating into our profit margins. Those relationships are what built this company. I argued. Dad always said dash. Dad's not here anymore. James cut me off. And with our combined shares, we've voted to eliminate your position and department. The lawyer slid a document across the table. A buyout offer for my shares at well below market value. You can't be serious. It's this or we'll vote to dissolve your department anyway, Amanda said. At least this way you get something. Something? I laughed. You're offering me a third of what my shares are worth. James shrugged. Take it or leave it. Either way, you're out. Go start your own business if you think you're so valuable. I looked at my siblings, really looked at them. When had they become these cold, calculating strangers? Then I remembered something else Dad had taught me. Sometimes the best move is to let your opponents think they've won. I signed the papers. Amanda actually giggled as I packed up my office. Don't forget to send us a Christmas card from whatever small-town startup you end up working for. They never bothered to read the non-compete agreement carefully. It prevented me from starting a competing software company, but said nothing about starting a consulting firm. More importantly, they were so busy celebrating their victory that they didn't notice what I took with me: relationships. That evening, I made 3 calls. The first was to David Chen, our biggest client, whose company alone accounted for 20% of Morgan Technologies' revenue. David, we need to talk about your contract renewal next year. The second was to Sarah Martinez, a brilliant software engineer who'd been trying to poach me for her startup for years. Sarah, remember that partnership you proposed? I'm interested. The third was to Dad's old friend and lawyer, Benjamin Wright. Ben, remember how you always said Dad should have updated those bylaws? Well, I need your help with something. What James and Amanda didn't know was that I'd spent the last 5 years building more than just client relationships. I'd built a network, and networks, unlike software, can't be automated. I had 3 years until the major enterprise contracts came up for renewal. 3 years to build something better than what my siblings were destroying. 3 years to show them exactly why Dad had valued relationships over automation. The game was on, and they didn't even know they were playing. The first year after leaving Morgan Technologies was all about laying groundwork. While James and Amanda celebrated their streamlined company, I was quietly building something they'd never see coming. My new venture, KM Consulting, appeared to be just another boutique business consulting firm, but beneath the surface, it was designed with one specific purpose: to become indispensable to Morgan Technology's biggest clients. The genius part? My siblings actually helped me do it. Their new automated client management system was exactly the disaster I predicted. Longtime customers who were used to personal attention now found themselves talking to chatbots and fighting through automated phone systems. But thanks to my non-disclosure agreement, I couldn't directly tell them how bad things were getting. I didn't have to. They called me. Kate? David Chen's voice was frustrated during our first consultation. Your siblings' new system lost our entire quarter's data. They're saying it'll take weeks to restore. That's unfortunate. I replied carefully. Would you like me to review your disaster recovery protocols? As a consultant, of course. One by one, Morgan Technology's biggest clients hired KM Consulting. Officially, we were helping them optimize their business processes. Unofficially, we were becoming their safety net as Morgan Technology's service quality plummeted. Meanwhile, I partnered with Sarah Martinez's startup, Next Gen Solutions. They developed a revolutionary new inventory management system, one that made Morgan Technology's software look obsolete, but we kept it under wraps, showing it only to select clients under strict NDAs. Your siblings won't know what hit them, Sarah grinned during one late-night strategy session. This software is everything their clients have been begging for, and more. By the end of that first year, KM Consulting was handling emergency support for 60% of Morgan Technology's major clients. James and Amanda were too busy congratulating themselves on their cost savings to notice their customers were increasingly relying on their sister's new company. The second year was when things really got interesting. Morgan Technologies started losing smaller clients, the ones who couldn't afford additional consulting support. James and Amanda responded by raising prices on their enterprise clients to make up the difference. Did you see this? Amanda's voice carried across the restaurant where she was having lunch with James. They hadn't noticed me sitting in the corner, hidden behind a plant. Kate's little consulting company is actually turning a profit. Maybe we should have kept her around. James laughed. Please, she's picking up our scraps. Besides, we're making more money than ever. They were wrong on both counts. Their profit margins were artificial, propped up by short-term cost-cutting and price hikes. And I wasn't picking up scraps, I was building relationships that would soon prove priceless. The turning point came during a major technology conference. Morgan Technologies was unveiling their latest software update, a revolutionary new interface that was actually just a cosmetic upgrade. I was there representing KM Consulting, but also to set the final phase in motion. During James's presentation, something went wrong. Their demonstration crashed spectacularly, displaying error messages that revealed just how outdated their core technology was. The audience of tech executives and industry journalists muttered and took notes. Later that evening, at the conference mixer, David Chen approached James and Amanda. We need to discuss our contract renewal, he said gravely. Of course, Amanda chirped. Our new pricing structure dash. Actually, David interrupted. We're considering other options. James's face darkened. What other options? Our software is proprietary. You can't just switch vendors. True, David smiled, but our consultants suggested we review our technology infrastructure. Speaking of which, Kate, join us. The look on my siblings' faces as I approached was priceless. You? James sputtered. You're consulting for our clients? For your biggest client, David corrected, and about 60 others. Amanda's wine glass nearly slipped from her hand. 60? Did you really think they'd just accept being abandoned to your automated systems? I asked quietly. Someone had to help them keep their businesses running. This is a violation of your non-compete, James hissed. Actually, I smiled. It isn't. I'm not competing with you. I'm not selling software. I'm providing business consulting. You might want to have your lawyer review that agreement again. As they stood there processing this, Sarah Martinez joined our group. Kate, the demo is ready whenever you are. Demo? Amanda asked weakly. Oh yes, David Chen grinned. Kate's partner company has developed some very interesting new technology. Would you like to see it? The next hour was excruciating for James and Amanda as they watched Sarah demonstrate next-gen software. It was everything Morgan Technology's clients had been asking for over the past 3 years, and everything my siblings had ignored in their rush to automate and cut costs. This is why I asked to meet, David said finally. Our contract with Morgan Technologies is up for renewal next month. We won't be renewing. You can't do this, James argued. The transition costs alone are already covered. I interrupted. KM Consulting has been preparing contingency plans for all our clients for the past 3 years. Amanda grabbed my arm. Why are you doing this? I gently removed her hand. You told me to start my own business, remember? As I walked away, I heard David telling my siblings about all the other clients planning to jump ship. The dominoes were starting to fall. Phase 2 was complete. Now it was time for the finale. The morning I walked into Morgan Technology's office for the last time, I dressed exactly as I had the day they forced me out, but this time, the power dynamics were completely different. Ms. Morgan, their new receptionist announced, is here for her meeting. James and Amanda were waiting in the same conference room where they'd ambushed me 3 years ago, but now, instead of smug smiles, their faces showed barely contained panic. Before you start, I said, setting my briefcase on the table, let's review what's happened in the last 2 weeks. David Chin canceled his contract, so did Thompson Industries, Global Logistics, and 15 other major clients. Your stock price has dropped 60%, and your board of directors is calling for an emergency meeting. You've made your point, James said through gritted teeth. What do you want? I smiled. Want? I'm here to do you a favor. I'm giving you advance notice that by the end of this month, KM Consulting will be terminating all support contracts with Morgan Technology's clients. Amanda went pale. But that's nearly all our remaining major clients, 80%, to be exact, and they're all switching to Next-Gen Solutions platform. The transition plans are already in place. You'll destroy the company, James shouted. Dad's legacy? Dad's legacy? I stood up slowly. Dad built this company on relationships and trust. You destroyed his legacy the moment you decided automated systems could replace human connections. I pulled out a stack of papers. However, I'm not completely heartless. I have a proposal. They leaned forward eagerly. Next-Gen Solutions is interested in acquiring Morgan Technologies. The offer is fair, more than fair. Given your current situation, you'll both receive positions in the new organization, though naturally not at executive level. You expect us to work for you? Amanda asked incredulously. No, you'll work for Sarah Martinez. I'll remain focused on KM Consulting. I find I prefer building relationships to managing resentful siblings. As they read through the offer, reality finally sank in. Without their major clients, Morgan Technologies would collapse. The technology was outdated, the reputation was damaged, and the market had moved on. Their only choice was to accept the buyout or face bankruptcy. You planned this from the beginning, James said quietly. The consulting firm, the partnerships, everything. Not from the beginning, I corrected him. You pushed me in this direction. Go start your own business, remember? I just took your advice. Amanda was still reading the contract. These terms, they're actually generous. Because unlike you, I learned from Dad that business isn't about crushing people, it's about building something sustainable. After they signed the papers, I had one last surprise. By the way, that non-compete agreement you had me sign, Dad's old lawyer, Ben Wright, helped me review it. Turns out it wasn't properly notarized. It was never valid. Their faces showed the final realization. I could have competed directly with them from the start. Instead, I'd chosen a path that proved exactly why their approach to business was wrong. The transition took 3 months. Next-Gen Solutions absorbed Morgan Technology smoothly, with Sarah Martinez at the helm. James and Amanda were assigned to middle management positions where they could learn what they'd forgotten, that technology without human connection is worthless. 1 year later, I sat in my office at KM Consulting, looking at the exponential growth charts. We now advised over 300 companies, teaching them the principles my father had instilled in me: value relationships, honor commitments, and never underestimate the quiet ones. David Chin came by to celebrate our successful year. You know what the best part is? He grinned. Your siblings actually seem to be learning. James asked for my feedback on a project yesterday. Actually asked, and listened. People can change, I replied, when they're forced to see their mistakes. Your father would be proud, he said, not just of the business success, but of how you handled everything. I looked at Dad's picture on my wall. He taught me that revenge isn't about destruction, it's about correction. Sometimes people need to lose everything to understand what really matters. That evening, I received an email from Amanda. I understand now what Dad meant about relationships, what you and he tried to tell us. I know it's too late for apologies, but thank you for not destroying us completely, for giving us a chance to learn. I wrote back one line. That's what family is supposed to do. Today, KM Consulting and Next-Gen Solutions are industry leaders, showing companies that technology and human connection can coexist. James and Amanda have slowly earned back respect, though never their former positions of power. And me? I keep Dad's old business card on my desk. The back has his favorite saying scribbled on it: in business and life, treat people right, not because it's profitable, but because it's right. The profits will follow. He was right. As usual, my siblings thought they could automate away relationships and squeeze out profits. Instead, they learned the hard way that true success comes from building connections, not destroying them. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about getting it right.